Hey guys, this is in response to a Toy Games video, wondering if anyone collects Loose Collector, and well, my answer is yes. In fact, I do. Um, I really like Loose Collector. Um, they're I love the character selection, and I always wanted like female figures basically made in the Hasbro and Mattel style. I got a couple of Hasbro, or I got one Hasbro, the new Marvel's Rose. Really like that figure, and I got in the background I got a uh, a Mattel figure, which is um, uh, Masters of the Universe Classics Spectre. I also got Cyber Frogs, Heather Swain, just to sort of do a comparison. Then I got the Loose Collector Vampirella wearing the God, who was that? That female ninja from the Classified series that just came out wearing the skull mask. And then I got Lady Death in the background, and I also got this Fison cowgirl in the background, just to kind of give you guys a perspective on what female figures, especially really sexy, gorgeous female figures, were like kind of limited to before Loose Collector. Um, I really enjoy the fact that Loose Collector is putting these things out there, and he's making them both in scale and in also what I would call the same style as Hasbro and Mattel. Because let's face it, Hasbro and Mattel are never going to make these figures. They're way too controversial. They're way too old school, and they're way too sexy for them to make. Yeah, they're kind of upping the game with certain characters. I saw that new Emma Frost. They've put like cleavage on her, and they've given her an exposed midriff and whatever. But like, I think they're only doing that because Loose Collector is coming out. Because more and more toys are pushing the envelope when it comes to like guns and sexy women. So, I mean, I understand it's very common for the average person to shit all over um, female figures. It's very common for the average person to like look at like a sexy woman in like a slinky outfit or like something like that and just be like, oh, the sleaziest kind of man likes that stuff, or like oh, she, get that away from me, I'm not into that, I'm serious. And it's just um I think a lot of people do it that way. But another thing too that he mentioned was um that he mentioned that like people just see them as glorified Marvel Legends. Uh they're in the style of Marvel Legends for sure, but I don't think that they're glorified Marvel Legends. The reason is because like if you have these things in hand, they actually have weight to them. Most female figures have zero weight to them, especially GI Joe Classifieds, and that's not a knock on GI Joe Classifieds. I love GI Joe Classifieds, especially in the whole gun thing, you know. But like, uh, but like these figures, they have weight. I mean, that Vampirella over there, she has weight to her. This Lady Death, she has weight to her. You know, um, it it's not as that mighty Spectre back there, but it's as much as this guy. They weigh as much as this guy, and that's a male figure. So, you know, so do I think they're overpriced? Maybe to a certain degree, but like I think toys in general nowadays are overpriced. What I think that you're really paying for when it comes to Loose Collector is you're paying for the character selection. Um, I mean, dude, like if it were going to boil down to just Mattel and Hasbro, and let's say they picked up Lady Death, and they picked up Vampirella, and they picked up Red Sonja, and they picked up Heavy Metal, and all this, they're going to really, really, really nerf the character. They're going to basically give them full coverage outfits and make them less and less curvy. So, you know, it's kind of like a choose your battles type of thing. If you want sexy women in your toys, unfortunately, you're just going to have to pay up. I mean, I mean, they've been at an $80 price point ever since I've been collecting them, which has been for about like um 2 years, almost three at this point. The first one I got was Lady Death. The second one I got was Tarna, and a lot of people did not like that figure, but I do not give a shit. And that figure again has a lot of weight to it. And then the third was Hell Witch, and we'll get to her in a minute. But uh but like yeah, like now that all these others are trickling out, and he's coming out with more and more, um I look forward to buying them every single time. I mean, this is kind of like these are kind of like cream of the crop in a way. I mean, they're kind of like what you just want in a collector. Like, you could make a weird fucking strip club shootout scene. You could make a weird fucking like uh like like all kinds of weird stuff with these loose collector figures, you know. But I think people just they kind of see the price, and then of course they're turned off by the price because of what the figure's made out of and the style that it's made of, not realizing that yeah, but like, dude, Hasbro and Mattel, they don't have the guts to actually make figures like these. So um those are just my opinion, and yes, I'm a loose collector um collector. Anyways, let me show you the Lady Death. Let me show you something else that Marvel and Hasbro will not do. Here's something they won't do. Give the figure exposed breasts. So, yeah, I think that's worth an $80 price point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you guys who think that everything should be cheaper in life. I'm sorry to guys who aren't willing to pay up and then they're jealous when somebody actually does. I'm sorry to people who just want to make Hasbro and Mattel the only action figure company that there is. Anyways, this is my video. Like, comment, subscribe.